Ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again for our third and final episode of Review of Honor. We've been together on this crazy journey throughout this Pure Title Tournament, but alas, all good things do finally come to an end. And here today, we will be covering the semifinals and the finals to figure out who will be crowned our Ring of Honor Pure champion. But guys, we gotta have opinions. We gotta have perspectives, and no other perspectives and opinions can we have than somebody who is a three-time Baby Making champion. This is Ness. He has to have a wide range of perspectives to be able to handle and deal with all of his kids. Ness, how are you doing today?
I'm doing mighty fine, sir. Thank you for asking. Man, it's definitely been a wild ride in this Pure Title Tournament. Everybody that's been a part of this has definitely shown up and showed out, and I just hope that everybody that's been in this tournament, gains more respect and a little bit more notoriety from the ROH fans and just pure wrestling fans in general, because they all have put on excellent performances.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. Everybody who has made it this far in the tournament has definitely earned it. You can feel it. You can feel the pain that they are going through. And we start off our semifinals with Jonathan Gresham versus Josh Woods. Josh Woods recently just picked up that win over PJ Black. Josh Woods is trying to make a name for himself. He's kind of a young upstart, so to speak, when it comes to this tournament, when it comes to Ring of Honor, and he's in the ring with a seasoned veteran like Jonathan Gresham, a man who has shown his willingness to do whatever it takes to win, as long as whatever it takes is showing pure wrestling styles, pure wrestling submission moves. And in an interesting twist, Jonathan Gresham picks up a win over Josh Woods with a pin and not a submission. That's an interesting tale, and what's even more interesting is that by the time he reaches our finals and gets to our final match, Jonathan Gresham will have only used 2 rope breaks. Remember, guys, he had 3 rope breaks every single match, and he only used 2, the lowest of any person in this tournament. I thought this was a pretty good match. I like the fact that he got a pinfall win as opposed to a submission. He's been getting submissions throughout this tournament. So I gave this one about 2 3/4, 3 stars, right around that point. Ness, how did you feel?
Yeah, I gave this match 2 3/4 stars. The fact that I want to say like it was somewhat of a quote unquote David versus Goliath thing. Like Josh Woods definitely had, the size advantage over Jonathan Gresham, and he used that to his advantage throughout the whole match for the most part. Jonathan Gresham, eventually tries to wear down Josh Woods, in his leg area. And that's pretty much how he got the roll-up pin, was he hooked that same leg he was working on. So it made sense for Josh Woods to, not to be able to kick out because it was the leg that was being worked on. Jonathan Gresham, man, the fact that he went through the majority of this tournament without using his rope breaks, and then he used like 2 of them within minutes of each other. Great storytelling. He was at a disadvantage. Other guys were like, maybe taller, maybe bigger, but not not as obvious as Josh Woods was compared to Jonathan Gresham. And he really had to work from under to get this win. And it was a great match. I enjoyed it. It just showed, Josh Woods, again, him being the up-and-comer, what he can do in the ring with a guy like Jonathan Gresham. And it just showed Jonathan Gresham's ability to work with bigger guys, be able to, again, work from under. He was pretty much the aggressor in a majority of these matches. And from this match, he was taking a lot of the offense. So I like the change of pace and the change in the styles for this match.
I think what kind of, in a way, how the ending of the match made me feel, it was almost as though it wasn't supposed to be the ending. It kind of made me feel as though Gresham was going for the roll up, because he thought this is going to be another way to add pressure on his leg. This is going to be another way to put him at a disadvantage for when I do go for the submission. And then Josh Woods just could not kick out because of everything that had happened to him. So just that little twist, that little bit of a difference, I thought was really great. Now, guys, as Ring of Honor has been doing now, they have been kind of splitting our matches with in-ring promo segments just to get us back into the swing of things when it comes to overall Ring of Honor television. And 2 weeks ago, we had Vincent cutting a promo and then Matt Taven attacking him. This time we have Matt Taven and Vincent, opposite happening, and they're mixing it up. And I gotta say, this one threw me for a little bit because it just, I don't know, something about it. I think probably the part that killed it for me was not killed it for me, but was just was why is the ladder purple? Like that just is, and it's a small detail. It's a small detail, like but in the grand scheme of things, it's small. But like in the moment, I'm like, okay, so you knew Taven was gonna come out and cut this promo, and so you put a ladder under the table to use against him. Well, why is then the ladder painted in Taven's colors? So Taven painted a ladder and put it under the ring, knowing that you could be attacked. I was just like, wait a minute, something's off about this. Something doesn't make sense to me. And but I mean, either way, they're getting the storyline going. The guys go through a table, just upping that level of physicality. And somebody who also looks like they're ready to up the level of physicality is Shane Taylor cutting a promo when it comes to what he feels is disrespect from EC3 last week. And it looks as though we may be getting a six-man tag match, 3-on-3. EC3 and the Briscoes versus Shane Taylor Promotions with Moses Maddox and Jasper Kahn. So, Ness, what were your thoughts about our kind of – I almost started thinking of these things as halftime shows. Between the two tournament matches. So what did you think of these two segments?
I could have did without the rehash of Vincent and Matt Taven, because it's basically literally the same thing that happened last week, just happened, this week, and it's different. Vincent gets his comeuppance from Matt Taven, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. Like, yeah, the purple ladder, like, come on, man. But who gives? Like, come on. I don't know. I could have just did without it, but whatever. And then, I mean, I like the table spot. Vincent does like a swanton bomb off the ladder onto Matt Taven. Taven got a little bit of offense and nothing enough to not get his ass put through a table. But who knows? Maybe like the next time these guys face off with each other, they'll be like in a street fight and a hardcore match. Who knows?
I think in a way.
Oh, then I was just going to jump into the. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say when it comes to this, it's kind of as much as I was just there's probably some poor Ring of Honor guy but I spent a lot of time on painting that ladder purple. That's like this. But I mean, when it adds something different because the focus of all these episodes has been the pure title and the pure wrestling. To have that level of physicality kind of just mixes it up. So I think you were right on when you're saying having a street fight for these guys is something that'll be really good considering what they've already shown us. But yeah. So I'm sorry, the Shane Taylor.
Yeah, the Shane Taylor promo, that was the attitude that we needed to see from Shane Taylor. He felt disrespected that EC3 is coming into quote unquote his house, not acknowledging him and giving him his just due. And just like in my house, your house, anyone that's from the outside coming in, they don't acknowledge the quote unquote home owners. We're going to take that as disrespect. So again, I completely understand Shane Taylor and the way he feels on that note. He has everything to prove to EC3, because if you let one person take an inch, somebody else is going to take a mile. And that's pretty much where he was going with this. Like, oh, all right, this guy's coming in. Now it's going to be more guys coming in, more disrespect. I'm going to nip this shit in the bud right now. But so, I'm just definitely looking forward to this 6-man tag match between both parties.
And what I think is interesting, and hopefully I think our commentators have done a really great job previously. I hope down the road they kind of, when they're talking more about this Shane Taylor and EC3 confrontation, I hope they bring up the fact that Shane Taylor, when he lost the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, he lost it to Dragon Lee, who was basically making his almost debut for the company. It was a relatively early on match for Dragon Lee in Ring of Honor, and it was just like, wow, I don't know if this should be happening. but yeah, so like you can kind of see, like, to your point, you give him an inch, they'll take a mile, and yeah, I think he was coming back. He was coming back from the injury, I think, what happened with Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
But either way, guys, moving onwards, we talk about now our main event, and our main event here is Tracy Williams picking up a crazy submission win over Jay Lethal, dashing Jay Lethal's hopes for a Lethal Gresham finals. It's horrible.
Dash my dreams. Shit.
That's kind, and the thing is, that's kind of what we all thought this tournament was going to be. Like, you have these two guys who are amazing technical wrestlers. Gresham has a little bit more of that technical side. Lethal's more of the striker. It's a great clash of styles. They work together as a tag team. Are we going to have tag team partners in the finals of the tournament? That's kind of what we feel is supposed to happen. We want it to happen. We feel it to happen. And Hot Sauce Tracy Williams says, well, I mean, I don't know about that. I'm the guy. I believe I'm the guy. And after 19 and a half minutes, we all witness a amazing twist on the tail when Tracy Williams is able to submit Jay Lethal and makes him tap out. So I gave this was, for me, match of the night. I gave this one about 3.25 to 3.5. What did you think about this one?
Yeah, I gave this match about 3.25 as well. One thing that I loved about Tracy Williams going into this match, he acknowledged the fact that Jay Lethal, he was laser focused on meeting Jonathan Gresham in the finals. Only thing that he kept talking about, and the person that he pretty much kept mentioning, was Jonathan Gresham. I'll see you in the finals. Jonathan Gresham, my friend, we're going to make it to the finals. And Tracy Williams is just saying, like, look, don't overlook me. I know that you keep saying that you want to see Jonathan Gresham in the finals, but, like, you got to go through me first to get there. And, he showed up and he put an end to it, Also, another thing that I like is the fact that this is something I haven't acknowledged on, the past matches of Tracy Williams, is he's used all his rope breaks in his last two matches. The match that he had against Fred Yehai, they both exhausted all their rope breaks, and it came down to a submission win while using, while he was in the ropes. This match, same again. All the Jay Lethal used all his rope breaks again, and it came down to another submission, and they couldn't get out of it. So, like, I don't know. It comes with Tracy Williams, like, he's sacrificing himself to win, I feel. He had to, like, you got to take some pain to give some pain, and that's exactly how he ended up with the victory. And again, I know I wanted to see Lethal versus Gresham in the finals. Damn you, Tracy Williams, because I'm gonna, it's bittersweet. You dashed my dreams, but you did a damn good job of doing it. So I can't even be upset, it's not like either or was a good choice, but he just went out there and showed that, hey, Jay Lethal, you shouldn't have overlooked me, and now I'm going to the finals, man. Like, hey, you can't do nothing but respect that.
Yeah. Tracy Williams picking up or continuing to aggravate his shoulder injury that he's going to have coming out of this match. And I got to say, Lethal, it sucks for Lethal, but yeah, he did. He was overlooking everybody in the tournament, it seemed, from Dalton Castle, David Finlay onward. Everybody. He was just like, it's supposed to be me and John. It's supposed to be. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, take nothing away from Lethal, but Tracy Williams showed you can't look past anybody.
You want to know what else is crazy? Because throughout the whole tournament, the red bracket kept going. They were usually going first on the shows.
Yeah.
So I didn't even think about it till after the fact that since the silver bracket went first with Jonathan Gresham versus the silver bracket match, I'm like, all right, that's a little change up. But again, after the fact, I didn't think about it till after the fact. Josh Woods and Jonathan Gresham. So I was like, well, shit. Is this how they were going to try to, not give it away, that they're going to do, Lethal or not do Lethal versus Gresham in the finals? Because, Gresham was going to make it to the finals regardless. We know that.
Josh Woods, kudos to him for getting as far as he did, but we kind of understood Gresham was the guy. He's the one who was pushing for this tournament to happen in the first place.
Exactly. So he was definitely going to make it to the finals. So I like that fact that, they had him already be that last guy or one of the first last guys. And then they just threw that curveball and Tracy Williams getting the win over Jay Lethal.
Yeah. So guys, our finals are set. Our finals are set. It's not going to be Gresham versus Jay Lethal. It's going to be Gresham versus Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, the Octopus versus the Hot Sauce. So that's going to be our finals. And starting off our final episode of this tournament and our finals for the Review of Honor, we have first our 6-man tag match. We have Shane Taylor Promotions up against EC3 and the Briscoes. Shane Taylor Promotions is, of course, Shane Taylor with Moses Maddox and Jasper Kahn. And they have a kind of an interesting 6-man tag match. This match doesn't go that long. It's about 8 minutes and 17 seconds, but they kind of packed a lot into it. And they have kind of something that you almost don't expect to happen, where EC3's team takes the loss. The EC3 himself is not pinned. I think it was Mark Briscoe who took the pin, but it's still a loss for EC3, and it gets Shane Taylor a win as we're coming out of this pandemic and getting back into a full Ring of Honor schedule. So I thought that they had some good storytelling in this match, definitely with EC3 and his character and what he brings to the table when it comes to match work. Ness, how did you feel about this?
Yeah, I enjoyed the match for what it was. Again, it was somewhat short, but it did seem like they put a lot into it. Shane Taylor Promotions, these guys are an actual unit, all around, and they showed it in this match. They definitely worked together very well. I honestly wanted, EC3 and the Briscoes to win. So it kind of threw me off that they didn't win, but it was kind of funny that EC3 wasn't the one that got pinned. When it comes to losing, if it's a Briscoes loss, 9 times out of 10, Mark Briscoe is going to eat the pin.
That's why, for a second, when it happened, I was like, I can't see which one. It's Mark.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't see which one, but it's Mark.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, okay, that's understandable. But just like EC3 and against his match against Moose, he's coming into these promotions, he's giving a spotlight to guys that are big, are stars somewhat, but can be bigger stars, and he's pretty much giving them that push to go out there and make themselves be bigger stars, put in that work, quote unquote, control their narratives so that they can get the respect that they feel they deserve. So there's this, at the end of the day, it made sense. So yeah. I enjoyed it for what it was.
After this, we have, or it may have been before this, but Quinn McKay tells us that both Matt Taven and Vincent have been fined for their egregious actions in hurting each other, and that they've been told not to do it again, aka they're going to do it again.
Yeah, that's pretty much what that means, yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, we're definitely probably getting some kind of street fight out of this. But, guys, we have our finals. We started with a bracket, a big bracket, and slowly we whittled it down. We've seen some crazy matches. We've seen some incredible work. We've seen a rare promo from Delirious. We've seen everything, guys, in this tournament. And we have to end this tournament with John Gresham versus Tracy Williams. There's a lot that can be said about this match that is under 15 minutes when they had time limit of an hour.
Yeah.
There's Jonathan Gresham using all 3 rope breaks when he had only used 2 in the entirety of the tournament prior. There's Tracy Williams showing just utter dominance throughout this match and just putting Gresham through the ringer. There's a lot that we can talk about, but ultimately everything comes down to our 2 people in the ring. They have a lot on their shoulders in this match. Well, a lot of them on one guy's shoulders, because Tracy Williams' injury, that's what's going to be the thing that undoes him. And incredibly, it's because he feels as though he has the match won. He takes off the protective bandaging that's keeping his shoulder intact, so to speak, and he goes for a final move on Gresham. And that's when the octopus, just when you least expect it, the octopus has those tentacles and he latches on. And that's all it takes. And he puts, after being dominated, I mean, you got to say dominated in this match, he's able to put a hold on Williams that targets that shoulder. And after 14 minutes and 36 seconds, Tracy Williams taps out. And Jonathan Gresham is our new Ring of Honor Pure Champion. I gave this about a 3.5, 3 3/3 stars. Ness, I know you have thoughts about this match. What did you think?
Yeah, I gave this match 3.5 stars. Again, Tracy Williams. This is actually, before I even get into Tracy Williams, this pretty much, the finals was pretty much a mirror match. If anybody's watching or kept up with the whole tournament, these guys have both been going through their both respective brackets, just showing, technical wrestling ability, intensity, drive, determination, everything that you need to want to win a match. And they both were doing it. It was basically like a mirror match to me. So once we get to the finals and we see that, we have, how's the saying go? The the immovable object and whatever. I don't know how to say it. Yeah,
unstoppable force.
Force, the moving object. That's basically what it came down to.
Yeah, so, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah. So when Tracy Williams literally dominating the match, so much that Jonathan Gresham had to use all of his rope breaks, like you already had mentioned, went from not using any, then going into a match and using 2 very quickly. Now, Tracy Williams, that's just something that Tracy Williams has done throughout pretty much a good majority of the tournament. He's making these people exhaust all their rope breaks. And a couple guys, you can see that actually happening, but I never would have guessed that was going to happen with Jonathan Gresham, because he's supposed to be one of the guys that, sees these things happening and can get himself out of it. But it was just so much that, the only way that he can stop and preserve himself from taking more damage was to use his rope breaks. And, at the end of the day, he still won, but that was just something in the back of his mind, just something that he had to worry about. And just those type of mind games, eventually it came back to bite Tracy Williams in his ass, because as soon as he took off that protector for his shoulder, that's when it all went downhill. He got put in the octopus hold. He couldn't move. Like, I didn't even see him tap, or maybe he just said it was over. Like, I couldn't, he had nowhere to go. He had nowhere to go. So, kudos to Jonathan Gresham. We already felt that he was going to be the one to win this whole tournament. Clearly, that was the right decision. He's been fighting for, not even just like physically and literally, figuratively, for the Pure title to come back, and who else better to hold it than him?
Yeah,
he personifies pure wrestling ability, the pure, what the Pure title stands for. Like, I just can't wait to see him go out there, put on phenomenal matches, and go down in history as one of the best pure title holders.
I think he definitely will. My only nitpick, and this really is, I guess, kind of a nitpick, is that before the match, they acknowledged in the promo video that Tracy Williams was part of Foundation, and that he was the person who called, like, what the meaning of that phone call was that Gresham had taken. And a part of me just kind of wished as though they had done that reveal after the match, just because it kind of, there seemed to be a level of respect between the two of them, which would have been fine if they are, just natural competitors. Like, I respect my competitor. I respect how far you've gotten in the tournament. You respect how far I've gotten as far in the tournament. We saw that with Tracy Williams and Fred Yehai where they're former catch point together. But with this, a part of me just wanted that just level of brutality to be added to it, because it seemed as though, like, no matter who won, Gresham still won because his group got the title, and his goal of having control of the Ring of Honor Pure title still was accomplished because Foundation gets the title. So I think it would have been, I don't know, just a part of me would have liked it a little bit more if after the match, because after the match, Jay Lethal comes out and is celebrating with Gresham in the ring, helps him put the title on. I think that would have been a great moment for a reveal of sorts that Tracy Williams is going to be part of Foundation going forward. But I mean, that's really at best a nitpick considering the amazing match that they were able to put on. So guys, Ness, let me get your final thoughts overall for the tournament from start to finish. How did it make you feel? What do you think about Ring of Honor going forward, and just all of your thoughts?
Man, like, overall, the whole tournament was amazing. Again, you have guys that we know of that go out there, have been putting in work for over the years. We know their accolades, we know their ability, we respect their ability. And then you have some guys that aren't from, like, not too many people know them, but they still showed up. So kudos to Ring of Honor management for reaching out to other promotions and reaching out to the guys that aren't under contract and giving them the spotlight. Like I said, again, everybody showed up and showed out. There wasn't any matches that were quote unquote bad. Everything under the pure wrestling ability, I just loved it. I just want to see. I hope that we get another tournament of some sorts. Not just obviously not the crown pure title holder, because we already got that, but maybe more guys, people that weren't in this title in this tournament that are on the ROH roster, or even more people that are outside of Ring of Honor that they bring in, that they can add to this tournament next time, to see if we can get a number one contender to face Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the idea that you're having is kind of like a pure title G1.
Yeah,
that would be something that would be maybe not the same schedule, because that's a round robin tournament. But it can still,
as long as I don't gotta wake up at like 3 in the morning to watch it. Yeah, I'll definitely.
It can be single elimination, but I think that's a really great idea. I do hope that they do that. They have something like that, and then maybe, I forget exactly what their schedule is when it comes to their pay-per-view schedule, but maybe you can have something. If they are continuing the partnership with New Japan, maybe what you do is you have the pure title, we'll just say for lack of better terms, G1. You have that happen in the fall, and then that person challenges at Final Battle. So that way you have the ability to use some of the New Japan people, and you're not stepping on New Japan's summer of their G1. So I think that would be a really, really interesting idea. I love that idea, going to have a competition similar in style that ends up the winner challenges for the Ring of Honor Pure title. So, guys, I really liked this tournament. I thought it was a great way for Ring of Honor to step out of the shadows to come back to full force. We know that Ring of Honor is no longer the second best promotion in the United States. That is definitely AEW. I mean, some of you might say it's the second best is WWE, but either way, Ring of Honor has been bumped down a bit, and this is a way for them to get their footing back in place, and say, hey, you know, everybody's had to deal with this pandemic. We took our time. We know what we're going to do. I really hope that they planned out storylines and things like that in this interim, and I'm really interested to see how Ring of Honor, you know, goes forward and how they move forward with this tournament. But guys, our time together has come to an end. So on behalf of myself and on behalf of the three-time Baby Making Champion Ness, we want to thank you for spending time with us. We want to thank you for watching the Ring of Honor tournament and for watching our review of Honor. And Ness, where can the people find you on the socials?
You guys can find me on Instagram at skinny__Kravitz, on Twitter at skinny_Kravitz, Facebook, Ness Rothstein, and you can always catch me on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. I'm on the roundtables. I'm on everybody's shows. I'm the sixth man, so I come off the bench. I tell SP3, put me in the game, coach, and, you know, he makes it happen. So, but thanks, guys, for tuning in with us on this wild ride of the Pure Title Tournament. It was great, and I had a great time reviewing with my man, the Stat King.
And guys, as always, you know, you can catch me on Dark Power covering AEW Dark, Impact Wrestling, and UWN. On UWN right now, we have our own tournament to crown the UWN heavyweight champion, the world champion for the first time. So guys, until next time, whether you're seeing Ness at being the Roundtable Rebel or you're seeing me on Dark Power, we will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace.